Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Well, guys, let's show some love on the screen there for our dynamic duo that we have with T. Gray and Mark Kithcart. These guys are absolutely knocking it out every morning, every Saturday morning, and no matter where I am in the world, I always have my my alarm to go off and let me know that these guys are about to start the training. And I can recall right now, I think there's only 3 trainings that I've missed that they've actually done. And it's because I was actually doing a training myself. But it doesn't matter if it's where I am, if it's 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm watching them. If it's midnight, wherever it is in the world, if I can see them, I'll actually get on and watch the trainings. And so that's kind of been a part of I'd say my career in network marketing, that this is the kind of stuff that I get addicted to. And, you know, and I think it's part of also being what I call not just a top earner. There's a difference between being a top earner and someone in the industry who owns it, okay, who owns it. And for every one of you on this call here who wants to be at that pinnacle level of success, I want you to be able to own it. And how you own it is you get every single morsel of information that you can get, and you just can't be away from it. And that was me. Now, we do know also that there's, in this business that we have, guys, that everybody's not here to be a top earner. Everybody's not here to retire. Everybody's not here to make millions of dollars. And so we recognize that. We do. And I can tell you that's one of the biggest reasons that ibüümerang is just different, is that we're not catering our business just to the top earner. You know, many of you, if you've heard my training when I talk about the elephant, the fish, and the monkey, you know, it's if you haven't heard that training, you know, hopefully I'll get a chance to relay that training to you, and so that way you understand who we are as ibüümerang, who we are as a company, and that this business is not catered to one personality type or one ambition type. This business is for every single person out there, and that's why this company was born. That's why it was born. And because 29 years of being in network marketing, obviously operating at a level lower than anybody I've ever seen before. And what I mean by that is making less money than anybody that I've ever met yet. Okay. And so, you know, I had months in business, whereas if I had made $1, okay, that would have been a major improvement because of what I was actually spending every month on products and what I was spending every month on, you know what, I want to reverse that. What I was investing, okay, what I was investing. I was investing into me. And so I wasn't paying money into the company. I was investing into me. I was investing into my future. I was investing into to the development of Holton bugs. And so when I look at what that investment and how it's paid off right now, I think it's done well. I was watching something with Warren Buffett the other day, and he says the best investment that he had ever made was the purchase of his house. I think his house right now, you know, Warren Buffett, guys, if you don't know, he's worth about $88 billion. He's donated over $45 billion. His house right now is worth a little over, I think about almost $700,000. That's the value of his house in Omaha, Nebraska. And, but he only paid, I think he paid about 113, I'm sorry, he paid 60 something $1,000 for that house. Or I think it was, 30 something $1,000 for the house is when he purchased it. 30 something thousand. It's worth right now almost 700,000. And you watch a guy who's earned billions of dollars, a guy who owns Geico, a guy who owns many of the companies that we are familiar with that are household names today. You say he thinks that this investment of his house is the best investment he's ever made, if you look at the percentages. And it's because we gauge things differently. Okay, successful people gauge things differently. And this is what I want to tell you as well on this call today, is I'll get into some information today. But what I tell people is this, I've always said this, is that the worst indicator of a healthy business is volume. Okay, Volume is the worst indicator of a very healthy business. And so I want to give you some things today. You know me, guys, I'm normally all over the place in my mind and in my spirit when it comes to sharing information with the team. And but I want to give you, you know, some of what I call the three vital signs of the business. I want to share a little bit about that today. And I was not even planning on that, but I'm always led some kind of way. And every time I get on a call and do a training, I do come with some preparation, and the preparation that I come with is different than most people. Some people prepare all of their notes, and that's what their talent is preparation. Some people, you know, rehearse a script, and that's what their preparation is. And you know, that's just how we're all made a little different. And I come prepared. What I do is I prepare my spirit. I prepare my spirit to say, what is it that you know, I want my spirit to get aligned with the people that I'm talking to, and I want the people that I'm talking to really to be able to resonate with them and be able to reach through this Zoom, be able to reach right through this Facebook or through Instagram or whatever it is, and make sure that I can capture what it is that you need, and give every single person on here just a little bit of a dose of what's in my spirit, and all I'm asking is that my spirit is actually in concert and in coordination with your spirit in some kind of way, so that you can feel it. Because, you know, I can give you a lot of stats, I can give you, and I can read over everything, and that's something you can do on your own. You can do that on your own. But my goal is to share something a little bit different with you, and that's why sometimes these calls go a little longer than sometimes I plan. And, you know, so I just kind of let you know that, so you understand how we operate, how I operate specifically when it comes to training mode. Now, obviously, one of the things about successful people as well is that you have different you have different gears and different atmospheres, different gears and different environments. And so I want to be able to do this. So when we're on stage sometimes and we have some of the speakers speaking, you know, one of the things I can say about our speakers is that they actually respect our timing. If they get 20 minutes to speak, they'll take 20 minutes, okay? And sometimes they'll take 21, 22, but then sometimes they'll take 18, okay? You know, on this call here, we all have the freedom to be able to jump off if you're running late behind or whatever it is. On something, you have that opportunity to jump off and do what you need to do. But number one, guys, I want to say congratulations to all of the people who were in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia was what I call the beginning of the beginning. Okay. You say, well, what do you mean by the beginning of the beginning? Atlanta, Georgia was one of those times where one of those events, it was, by the way, it was our first regional event. We still have not had a major event yet. It was our very first regional event that we had in ibüümerang, and I can tell you guys, I couldn't be more proud of the team that we had. I couldn't be more proud specifically. I got to give one person some kudos that I'm very, very proud of, and that is our global master ambassador, Mr. Edwin Haynes. Edwin Haynes, guys, I sit back and I'm just watching him, and what I'm watching is opportunity and preparation. When it meets preparation, when he's been prepared, you know, all of his, you know, I say the second half of his life, for this moment. And when I say that, I'm talking about just the network marketing part. All of his life, he's been prepared for it. But I can tell you, so many people watch Edwin Haynes, and they've always asked him, you know, what I call some dumb questions. You know, why is it that you always play second to HB, and why don't you try to do it? And why don't you try to do this? Or why don't you try to do this and supersede him, or whatever it is? And so some people don't understand the power of two, okay? The power of two. And I'm not talking about the power of quantity of two. I'm talking about the power of being second, okay? Being second doesn't necessarily mean that you're second place on your dreams. You know, being second sometimes is a very, very, very important component. And I can tell you, my mentor, TD Jakes, and one of the things that I've always wanted is I've always wanted my mentor when I actually received one. And anytime I've had a coaching environment or even an upline, I've always wanted the person who extended the opportunity. I always wanted them to go out there and reach their dreams and goals. And even if it meant that I was a part of theirs, that was okay. That was completely okay with me. You know, TD Jakes said something to me that was so critical, because I've watched this man build a business all over the entire world. I've watched him also build a ministry that's all over the world. But I've also watched where people who he had trained, who were what he had called second in line, thought that, okay, well, now it's my time. You know, TD Jakes has built me so much on this platform. Let me go start my own church and now compete. And he says, you know, here's the thing that you'll understand. He says, when it comes to mentorship and protege, he says the protege needs to understand, to learn to enjoy the distance between the mentor and the protege. That doesn't mean that the protege will always live a second fiddle life. See, if you ask Edwin Haynes, how many of his kids right now have college loans? None. Ask him, you know, how many of his kids have car notes? None. You know, ask him, you know, just all of the things in terms of the vacations and the lifestyle, and if there's anything that he or and I can't say new grandbaby, but that 4-year-old grandbaby of his, you know, have no worries in the world. Why? Because you know what Edwin Haynes has done that is so powerful. He's learned to enjoy the distance. And that's not even the mentor. If you're someone's mentor, as a mentor, you don't suppress them and say, hey, listen, lower your goals because I haven't reached mine yet. It's just that, no, when you know that you're connected to the right person, enjoy that distance. Why? Because there's some other things that he hadn't had to do as well. Okay. And that because we are that tandem, he will never have to do them. He hadn't had to endure the number of arrows that are in his back, that are in my back. He hadn't had to endure a lot of the financial losses of businesses that I've had to go out and say, let me go ahead and do this right now. Why? Because he just hadn't had to do it. Would he do it? Of course he would. But I'm watching him right now, and I'm watching him have the time of his life. And more importantly, I've watched him step into a role that many people are now like, man, I didn't know that he had this. I didn't know that he had this type of leadership in him. Why wouldn't you know that? Why wouldn't you think that he has it if he's attached to me? As if I'm going to produce weak leaders, as if I'm going to produce someone who's not prepared. And so when I watch what is actually happening in this, this is actually just a manifestation of what we call Lou. Okay. Our company and our distributors, we've got philosophies of how we built our distributor base. Okay. We've got philosophies of how we do that. And what I mean by Lou is L-U-E. Okay. You're going to see that on the rings that we're going to be giving away, the achievement ring. We're not giving them away, the rings that people will have earned, and we're going to reward them with their financial achievement rings. We've already had several people to earn those already. But Lou, what is Lou? L-U-E, loyalty, unity, and edification. Okay, loyalty, unity, and edification. And so that's exactly what our field is really made of. And so Atlanta, you had a chance to see that. You had a chance to see, you know, people walk into a room. And what my vision has always been for a company is for people to walk into a room, no matter how many people are in there, whether it's 5 people in the room or whether it's 5,000 in the room or 50,000 in the room. And we're going to have those 50,000 attended meetings coming up. But whether it doesn't matter, that you wouldn't know who's on whose team. You couldn't look and say, oh, that's that person's team right there, or they're part of the green team, or they're part of the brown team, or they're part of, you know, this team here. You walk into a room of ibüümerang, and guess what? It's one family. Okay, una familia, one family, and that is the ibüümerang family because of loyalty, unity, and edification. And I watch a lot of how he's led and how many of the leaders and distributors, how he's actually engaging. And I look at him honestly, and I say, man, he's been a little better at this than I was with dealing with so many different leaders at the very beginning of a company. But that's what's supposed to happen anyway, you know, so that if he's got his knowledge, plus he's got my knowledge, he's got the time that he's put in, plus he's got my time, he's got his 21 years, plus my 29 years. He's got 40 years of experience. I only have 29. Okay? And so sometimes that's the power of number two. That's the power of number two. Now, here's what he's never done. He's never waited for me. He's never had to wait for me either. He's never said, well, you know what, I'm not going to achieve my goals because Bugs hadn't achieved his goals. No, as the leader, you have a responsibility to show the field your back. You've got a responsibility so that they can see your back. That doesn't mean you turn your back on them. It means that you're leading them. It means that you're out front. It means that the things that they're able to see are your tail lights. And so I ask you the same thing. This doesn't have anything to do with being the CEO in relation to Global Master Ambassador. This has everything to do with you being a Sapphire and maybe one of your top senior director. Okay. And so, I mean, if you've got one of your directors or your executive directors or whatever it may be, can they see your taillights? Have you sponsored 10 and they've sponsored 50 and you're turning around saying, hey, keep going, make me rich? That's not the power of number two there. What I've always done as a leader, remember guys, leadership follows you everywhere you go. You don't become the CEO and say, oh, I'm gonna now become a leader. You don't become a Sapphire and say, I'm gonna now become a leader. You start leadership right from home. You start leadership before you sponsor your very first person. See, my very first training that I give a person is on the invite. Before when they hit my list, and I'm going through my list of prospects and I'm calling up my prospects, and then I give the invitation and the invite to them. And so if I was calling up T. Gray, I'd, hey, T. Gray, listen, 7 o'clock, Thursday, can you reprioritize some time to meet me on Thursday night? Okay. Yes, I'm asking, it's leadership. Can you reprioritize some time to meet me there? Okay. And that's a training. Great. So T. Gray, listen, if there's something that comes up, I need to know at least 24 hours in advance because I've got limited seats that I can give at this meeting, but I've got unlimited number of people I have on my list and I called you first. Can we have that agreement? Yeah. See, I'm training him or I'm leading him already on how to treat me. You're not going to no show on me and not call me. I don't work that way. All right. And so your leadership starts from the beginning. See, the other thing I want T. Gray to see when he gets to that meeting, he's not my only guest. Why? Because if he's my only guest when I get to the meeting and I have no other personally sponsored people, when he gets to the meeting, he thinks I need him. The best thing that I can show T. Gray when he shows up at my meeting, I don't care if it's one of a boom party. I don't care if it's a huge opportunity meeting. When he shows up at that opportunity meeting, the best thing that I could do for him is that I don't have all the time in the world for him. People say, wow, you're going to invite him and you're not going to give him time? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I don't have all the time in the world for him. At this event that we just had in Dallas, I'm sorry, in Atlanta, Georgia, I'm saying Dallas because I saw some people on the screen asking me HB in Dallas coming soon. Okay. I saw Luis Ventura and a couple of you guys have been just cranking it out over there and you want me in Dallas. So that's not an issue at all. No, Cosmos has been asking me about coming to Dallas as well. So Dallas is on my radar. By the way, I've got this nice website that I get discounts on hotels. So I will be there in Dallas, Texas as well. So we'll be setting that up. Okay. But anyway, that, I had to give my little Geico commercial, right? You talk about something and with my friends, sometimes we'll be talking about something about the game and guys, we'll be talking about like the playoffs, right? And we're talking about Steph Curry. We're talking about Kawhi Leonard and I'm engaged and I'll just automatically stop. I'll say, by the way, guys, I saved $35 on my hotel by using the iGo booking system, right? And I'll get right back to it and they just die laughing, but that's my commercial. I'm always promoting. But anyway, so when I show up at that meeting and when I show up at that meeting and he's not, he's not the only one, he sees fear of loss. Why? I'm the leader. I don't go out and just try to encourage them to be my group. I go out and lead. Here's what I know is that most people are looking for leadership. They're looking and they're begging for a sense of leadership. Trust me, okay? Guys, what's one of the biggest problems that we have today in our society globally? Gangs. Gangs is one of the biggest challenges that we have in our society. Do you know why people join? Do you think that you got a 17-year-old kid, boy or girl, who grows up and says, you know what? I just think I want to go kill some people today. You know what? I think I want to go just shoot someone or fight someone or rob this store, or I want to hang out with nothing, you know, with felons. Do you think that's what they're doing? No. Why is it that they join? Leadership. There's somebody who's the leader of that gang. There's somebody who's put things in order, and leadership is attractive no matter what. Those 17-year-olds, they don't have a leader at home. And so when they come in front of the guy and he's got whatever it is, 1,000 different tattoos, they watch them, they watch the level of order, they watch the level of respect by the other members, and they say, I want to be a part of that. What we do is we're doing the exact same thing, but we're doing it for positive. We're doing it for something positive. We're doing it to make a contribution to society that is going to be very positive. That's what we do here. And so you've got to make sure that you actually become the leader. And that's what I've seen, and that's what I've watched. And many of the other leaders as well who've stepped up, ladies and gentlemen, have just been absolutely phenomenal. But I just have to give hats off to our global master ambassador. I just sit back and I just watch him. And because the biggest compliment that you can pay a mentor is your success and your progression. Don't pay them your promises. Don't pay them, you know, with gifts. The biggest compliment that you can ever pay them is your success, your progression, and you going to that next level. But when we take a look at what we've got here with ibüümerang, with loyalty, unity, and edification, that's what we have here. That's why at every meeting, you're going to see loyalty. We're real big on loyalty. That's why, and ibüümerang, guys, we don't tolerate cross recruiting. We don't tolerate poaching others distributors. Why? That's loyalty. Loyalty. Loyalty to what? Loyalty to the brand. Loyalty to the philosophy. Loyalty to the product itself. Loyalty to it all, right? It's loyalty. Now, some people say, well, you know what, I'm loyal to my family. That's what we want you to, we want your family. We want you to be loyal to your family. That's what this is really all about. You know, I had a couple of guys who couldn't make it, or they could have made it, but, you know, they had some situations where they couldn't make it to Vegas, not Vegas, but to Atlanta because, well, the kids were graduating. And I said, hey, listen, don't you even think about showing up over here. Mark Kipcart had his daughter graduation, and when we were in Cancun, it was her very last recital that she would have ever done as a high school student. I said, man, this is why we build the business. You get over there. If I see you over here in Cancun, you're gonna have a problem with me. Jose Luis says, listen, my daughter's got her last dance, and then she's also got her graduation. Man, listen, if I see you in Atlanta, you're terminated. Okay, if you come to the event, you know, that's kind of a joke between us, but no, we want you to be loyal to your family. But you also have a family here in ibüümerang, and I'm going to share some things with you as well today. One of the things I can tell you is that with ibüümerang, guys, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get always what I call the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, and so sometimes you get a lot of ugly, and then sometimes you're going to get a lot of good. Okay, but we give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Why? Because transparency is one of our corporate mottos and our corporate philosophy of how we want to treat our distributors. Remember, guys, this company was built based off a philosophy of treating distributors the way I've always wanted to be treated. I tell you, if there's anything that I want to take credit for, I'll take that one. I always wanted to have a company where the ownership knew how I was feeling. And that doesn't mean that they would always cater just to my feelings, but I wanted to have a concept whereas the company would say, listen, let me think about how they're feeling and let me go ahead and build the company, but let me at least communicate what's really taking place and what's going on, right? And here's what I know. See, once you have all the information yourself, that's when you've got an educated opportunity to make an educated decision about who we are and what it is that we're doing. And that's what we strive to do over here in ibüümerang, is to give you as much information so that you are as much a part of this company as anybody else. The way we look at it, even though we're not a publicly traded company, we look at it as if you are part of our executive board. That, hey, listen, we need to give a boardroom update so that we let you know what's taking place, where we're going, the future of ibüümerang, but also the current. Because I don't want to just always give you the future. Here's where we're going, and never tell you about who we are right now. And so, but that's a part of loyalty. We're going to be loyal to you, and that's the loyalty to you from an honesty standpoint, from an integrity standpoint, from a transparency standpoint. We call it a HIT philosophy. Okay, the HIT philosophy, and that's our corporate philosophy that we have. Is that that's what we're gonna operate on: honesty, integrity, and transparency. Okay, and so from a distributor perspective, here's what we expect from you. We expect loyalty, unity, and edification amongst your brothers and sisters. If somebody comes to the meeting and they're already signed up, man, embrace them, hug them, let them know, hey, listen, welcome to the team. Don't ever, ever leave a door open whereas they think that they can sign up with you. That's not loyalty. Number one, that's not unity. Remember, the second part of Lou is unity. Okay, and that is being united. That is being united. And being united means that you are also a protector. You are also a protector. Okay. See, one of the things I do is I protect our brand. No, you can't come to me and talk bad about our leaders. You can't come to me and talk bad about our opportunity, our product. You can't talk to me bad about anybody in our team who's loyal to this team. Now, some of the stuff you're saying possibly could be true, but you just can't say it to me. You just can't say it to me. That's just one of the things. It's just unity. Okay. Unity. Don't come and tell me anything bad about Mark or T. Gray. You got a problem with me. Okay. You got a main problem with me. Now, here's the thing. Are they perfect? Yes. Yes, they are. So don't come talk to me about them. Okay. So they're perfect. All right. See, I know you guys were thinking I was going to say, no, they're not. Yes, they are perfect. They are perfect. They are the perfect people for what it is that they do. Now, here's what happens. Are some of their actions, going to be congruent with what your thoughts are? No, they're not. Okay. But here's the thing. I've got to protect them. You've got to protect them as well. This is what we do. We protect you. Many of you have no idea the layer of protection that we put around you as well in your opportunities. So you got to protect those guys. All right. And then edification. What is edification? Edification doesn't mean you make a God out of someone. It doesn't mean that. Edification simply means that you're edifying, you're holding them up, you're lifting them up to a standard by which they're actually performing. Okay. And so you do that. What should you be edifying? Always edify the leadership in the company. Always, always, always. If you ever take a look at companies who built a large brand, it's done through edification. I can tell you right now, again, Edwin Haynes' income is there because of his level of edification. That's why. I'm just telling you right now, when we got started, and like I said, he was so shy, he wouldn't even lead silent prayer in church. Okay, that's how shy he was. All right. But what he got good at is saying, man, is edifying me. And I take it from there. He passed the baton to me every single time. And what I do is I make sure I go out and score for him. Why? That was my talent. That wasn't his talent, speaking in front of people. He was a music executive. He was behind the scenes. He wasn't out front. And so he passed that baton on over. And so you got to understand edification, how it works for you. When you edify someone, it makes you more powerful. It's not the person who's getting the edification who's more powerful. You're more powerful. You are. Okay. But what you're doing through edification is you're giving someone, when you edify upline, that means you're giving someone upline the power to have influence in your organization when you don't have it. I can tell you right now, if you're one of our main leaders out there, you're a diamond. Diamonds know. They know for a fact that sometimes their leaders are not going to listen to them. Well, who do they need? They need to have edified the upline. So when the upline comes in, if Edwin Haynes comes in and starts edifying, and if we have Jose Luis come in, or if you have Cesar Munoz come in, or Peter Hirsch come in and start edifying you to your team, that team now listens. Well, oh, wow, Cesar Munoz said this about my leader. Maybe I should listen. But see, if you've been de-edifying Cesar Munoz, If you've been de-edifying, David Manning, or if you've been de-edifying Jose Luis or Peter, they don't have the influence to correct things in your organization. You always got to edify up. So edification is big. When you edify down, which means people are who's in your organization, what you do is you're now elevating them to have more influence. So if you're if Peter is edifying you, and in that organization, what he's doing is giving you the power. But he's not going to edify. It won't work if you're not edifying him, because the group is going to sense, you know what, man, my leader is saying some really bad things about Peter, but Peter's saying some great things about them. Maybe there's some conflict here, and you create confusion. But that's why you want to eliminate that, okay? So you edify up, you edify down, you edify sideways. That means that if you're a diamond and you're in another leg of business and another diamond, you edify that diamond to their group. You edify them to the meeting as well, okay? In terms of the skills that they're good at. Now, if they're a diamond and they're not a great speaker, don't edify, oh, this is a wonderful speaker. Don't ever edify a lie. Always edify something that you find that's good. Hey, listen, you know what, man, your leader's really plugged in. I see them at every event. You're on the right team. You've got not only them, you've got a whole host of teams, and your leader can lead you to whatever it is that you need. So I don't edify something that's not true, because people start to pay attention. If you start edifying lies, they're now going to question your integrity, okay? Don't be overly critical, but don't edify something that is not true, all right? But that's who we are as a team. So we're going to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that we get everything to you that you actually need, so that you are able to make some informed choices in your business and how everything goes. Now, I'm not going to forget to teach you about what I call the 3 vital signs. I'm going to share the 3 vital signs with you. But what I want to do now is I want to just kind of give you a little update, some bullet points. I want to give you something of what I call it our 90-day update that I want to give you today. Our 90-day update that I want to give you. We've been now rolling for a little over 90 days. And I want to just kind of share some information with you. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good, but it's the truth. It's just what it is. And then I'll finish up with a little bit of the training of the 3 vital signs, if you will. Our first 90 days, let's talk about our first 90 days, what's happened, and have a chance to do a little bit of bragging over here, but that's not really what it's going to be all about. I want to just share some ideas with you, some concepts, and kind of give you an update. In 90 days right now, we've got 134 different countries where we have actually people that are participating. I'll just say it that way, participating and counting. 134 countries. Never thought it would have grown to that number of countries in terms of, I'll say users, okay? Let's just say the number of users, people who are using our platform, all right? And here's one of the things that's really good about our business. If you take a look at ibüümerang and the front door of our business, and I can't wait till I do a full training on the Prib for you. You heard T. Gray talk about it. I'm going to give a full training on the Prib so you guys really understand who and what it is that we're building. And I can tell you right now, it's not going to be built in 90 days. It's not. But 134 countries and counting in 90 days. What we're building, ladies and gentlemen, we're building it for a lifetime. We're building it, as I mentioned, so that this is the last company you'll ever have to sign an application for. You'll never need another enrollment form, ever, 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 ever. Okay. And what I know is this: is that some of us are sprinters, some of us are mid-range travelers or athletes, and some of us, the people that I gave a lot of respect to, I gave a lot of respect to the cross-country runners, to those who ran long distances. Why? Because they had that endurance. They had that endurance. And I wasn't one of them when I ran track. I was a sprinter. But in network marketing and business, you know what? I'm a long distance runner. Okay? I'm a long distance runner. I was never building a business for what I could accomplish in my first 90 days. And so even though I'm going to read off some statistics to you guys, this is just so that you know the progress. Not that we're sitting up here like, okay, we're done, we're finished. No, we have not even scratch the tip of the surface of where we're going to be. But 134 days and counting. Let me give you a leadership update here. We produced now 113 different sapphires that we have. We have a 31 Ruby consultant, Ruby ambassadors that we have. Now you have to understand, a Ruby ambassador is somebody who's done at least $40,000 in business volume with the 40% rule. They can't count somebody else who's done 50,000 and count all of their volume. Okay. If somebody's done 50,000 or 100,000 in their group, the maximum that they can count is $8,000 of volume. They've got to go out and get another 32,000 in volume outside of that. We've got 20 Emerald ambassadors, 20 Emeralds. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're an Emerald and ibüümerang, okay, after 12 months, if you just stayed Emerald and never moved on, you've got $1 million business. We've got 20 people right now at the base level of $1 million per year business on an annual basis of revenue that they're producing. And we're not even talking about travel savings or travel that's been booked. Okay. When you're an Emerald, you're probably, your organization, if you're, promoting the way that we're going to share with you to promote, you'll be doing millions of dollars of travel within your organization. But just in terms of revenue that counts towards compensation, $1 million business, 15 diamond ambassadors that we have right now. Okay. 15 diamonds. So that's 31 rubies, 20 emeralds, 15 diamonds that we have. And every single month we're producing new diamonds as well. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you, we're going to be putting up a kind of a leaderboard of some of our new pins and new ranks, but we have not done our rank recognition the way that we want to yet. So that's on purpose. Okay. That is on purpose. I don't want you to look at recognition right now and say, well, this is how the company recognizes. Remember, guys, I don't know if many of you recognize that we're still in pre-launch. Okay. Liftoff of our company, the launch of our company starts August 31st. We set that from day one that we're actually going to get started. Our company will be starting August 31st. That's why we're doing that event in Las Vegas. Okay. Because we knew it was going to take a while to get a few things going. Some things we got done faster, some things taking a little longer. 3 blue diamonds. Now remember, a diamond is doing over 200,000 a month in revenue. Many of our diamonds, they don't hit it at the minimum. We've had people who hit diamond who did over 500,000 in volume, and they were a diamond. They didn't have the spread for blue diamond, but they went diamond. Okay, 15 of them at minimum. That's over $2 million in terms of a business that they'll have $2,500,000 in revenue that they'll produce for the year if they just stayed at the diamond level. Okay, just stayed at the diamond level. 3 brand new blue diamonds that we have, and I want to introduce one of our brand new blue diamonds, and that is Cesar Munoz, who is out there really leading the pack. If you watch this guy's schedule, guys, and watch how this guy works, he is an absolute maniac. Okay, he is. He's an absolute maniac and doing some incredible things. Every meeting that he puts together it's amazing. It's amazing to watch how people galvanize themselves around a person who's got a mission. They're on a mission, and there's no doubt of it. Okay, I can tell you, here's the thing. Okay, when you take a look at ibüümerang, does Cesar have the same challenges that everybody else have? Yes, probably a little bit more. Number one, they have to overcome language barriers because Mark doesn't speak Spanish. Terrence can barely say taco. Okay, if that is a Spanish word, I don't know if the English or the Spanish invented it, but anyway. I'm working on my Spanish a little bit. So they've got to get everything interpreted. They have to come to meetings and they have to listen to me in English. They listen to Edwin as well in English, and they interpret everything. Okay. They have the same challenges. There's different laws that govern how Mexico works with their systems and stuff like that. And they have to endure all of that. But he's not a sprinter. Okay, he's a long distance runner. And so long distance runners produce long distance runners. And so he went blue diamond. Blue diamond is 500,000 in volume. And Cesar said, listen, he wasn't shooting for blue diamond. He sent me a text message. This was maybe the 20th of the month. He says, by the way, you have a new blue diamond in your group. And he sent me his numbers, whatever it was. And he was already at 600,000 by the time he sent it to me. And I think he ended the month with 900,000 in volume. Why? Because Cesar understands how to run through the end of the month. I see some people, they run to the finish line. Have you ever seen those people who says, you know what, if I get to the finish line first, I'll win the race? But they didn't know who was behind them, and there was somebody who had a bigger goal. I'm going to run through the finish line. They see the finish line 10 meters or 10 yards beyond the tape, and that's why they give that extra push. He could have shut it down and says, well, let me try to keep all the volume for the next month. You don't build a big group that way. He did 900,000 as a blue diamond. He's going to crush black diamond, but those are not his goals. Those are just checkpoints along the way. And he had to start over and build a brand new group of people. And so congratulations to him. I told the story of Cesar sending me a message of one of his first meetings that he had done. And I saw a room full of people that were packed. I'm like, man, wow, this is cool, but I don't see anybody that I know. He says, no, these are my invites. 54 personal invites to his own meeting. Why? He knew that this was the opportunity of a lifetime. This was his chance. This was his opportunity, and he's taking advantage of it. He didn't look at it as, well, if this one doesn't work, I'll do it next one, so let me hold some of the people. He went all out massive action. All out massive action. I can tell you, you can always watch the trail smoke of somebody who's going all out massive action. And that's why he's breaking pins like crazy as well. And I can tell you, just watch the number of diamonds that will come out of that organization. We had some that were just so close to diamond this time around here as well. And part of the good and the bad and the ugly was our systems weren't updating with all the volume. Some of them didn't know where they were. But you know what? He didn't know where he was as much as well for Black Diamond. He just kept working. I never forget myself and Jose Luis. We were over in Malaysia while the month was ending, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning in North America where he was, and he was still working. He says, I can't see my volume. I haven't been able to see it for 2 days, but what I can see is my calendar and my actions. And so I'm going to control what I can control. I'm going to do meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, call after call after call. And guess what? If I give my all and my all was good enough, I'll be Black Diamond. But if I don't, I'm still proud because I gave it my all. He says, I won't sit back and say, T. Gray, I can't see my volume, so I can't work. That's why he did 900,000 in volume. Okay. That's why, we talk about income and stuff like that. I can tell you because I give the income disclosures. You looking at I was looking in 3 weeks, the guy had earned over $70,000 in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, brand new team. Why? Because he's not looking at the statistics. He's looking at the calendar. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, listen, can you imagine how things is going to work for him and his team when all systems are go? When every aspect when every single module that's in that cockpit works perfectly? Can you imagine how that's going to work for him? It's going to be absolutely incredible, okay? When he can see his volume update real time, okay? And I'm thinking that we're probably close to that right now, if not already done. It's done now, okay? It wasn't done last month, but what if he waited? How many people's dreams would have been crushed because he waited? How many would have just been, not realized because he just waited? He just waited. Wait until everything gets perfect before I just go out there and mash, okay? Now, some of us, we need to wait, and I understand that. If you need to wait, that's up to you, and I won't criticize you for it. But I don't want you to look at people like that and many others when it comes to, when we go to Las Vegas and you see the awards that we give and you see the recognition, there's some people that's going to say, wow, I wish I had believed a little more. I wish I had kept going. I wish I would have just built through. Man, but that head start is something in time, is something you can never get back, okay? And so look at your leaders. Number one, watch Ed. Is Ed resetting and saying, oh, I won't sponsor right now? Is Ed saying, I gotta wait? No, he's got more to lose than anybody, okay? But he's not waiting, all right? And so kudos to our 3 blue diamonds, okay, that we have here. One presidential diamond, everybody knows who that is. But anyway, let's go to some other stuff here. We have achieved now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 98,000, T. Gray. Is that 98,000 users now? Okay.
96,000.
Over 96,000 users in our system that we have in 90 days, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about registered between distributors and our customers. 96,000 is what we have right now, okay? 96,000 is what we have right now. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting better and better every single day. Really, really excited. Congratulations to all of you who are out there doing the right things. Congratulations to all of you out there who are getting customers, sponsoring brand new TSAs. That's where it's at. Get your TSAs right now. Get them, get them, get them. So congratulations, and give yourselves a big round of applause on Facebook, also on the Zoom, guys. That's for you. That's not for me. Give yourselves a big round of applause here, okay? I want to go ahead and go to some other stuff that we've got. We've been rocking and rolling from a business standpoint. Just to kind of give you an idea, we've already generated a little over $12 million, almost $12 million in sales. This has nothing to do with travel sales, travel saving. This is just business revenue that have come in through the efforts of you guys building in 90 days, 12 million. That's an average of $4 million per month, which is pretty good, guys. I can tell you right now, $4 million a month. When I was building my last company, it took 18, let's see here, our second year in business, we did $9 million in total sales. Now, remember, this is a company where I built my biggest revenue, 3 million distributors, billions of dollars of revenue. First year after I joined, we did $2 million in sales. Not the full first year, but from September to December 31st, 2 million. The next year we did $9 million in sales. 12 months, 9 million. So that means that for 12 plus 4, 16 months, we had actually done $11 million in sales, and we've done $12 million in sales here in 90 days. 90 days. Now, remember, I did also in that company $12 million in sales in 16 months. 6 of those months, I had no product. But I never took my foot off the gas. Had no product. We were walking around saying, just smell this sachet. Smell, see how this coffee gonna smell? See how, when it gets here, this is how it's gonna smell. And we, at $1,300, people sign up. Why? We had a belief. It was belief. I knew the product was gonna come, okay? And I never forget, I have a good friend of mine right now. We're still buddies today. I won't tell you his name, but anyway, he had joined with me as well, had built a huge organization before. This guy had made $20 million before, but he had hard luck, and that was his new start. He had squandered his fortune, and he couldn't stand the pressure. Man, there's no product, and my check was, actually, we would actually get our checks. Checks weren't late. We get our checks, take them to the bank. The bank says, this check is illegal. This check, there's no money in this account. And they'd send people back. I never forget, my brother went to go cash his check, and he went to go cash his check at the cash checking place. And this is when we were getting checks. And he went, and they called the police on him, and they almost detained him, thinking that he was doing fraud because our systems were so clogged up and so convoluted. And I never forget, we had to rush down there and go get him and say, hey, listen, I'm the top guy for this company. This check is actually legal, but our systems are messed up, and we spit out and we sent out checks, and the ID numbers were just incorrect on the checks, and it was a big mess. But he was about to go to jail. Now, everybody knows my brother, that if you confront him with some attitude, he's gonna make it a little bit more what I call theatrical, okay? And so, man, the police was there and all of this kind of stuff, but we kept going. We left there and we went to another meeting, and we started sponsoring some more people. And guess what? They finally got it right. And I don't know how long it took, but I can tell you this, bit $3 billion in business. Okay, why? Got it right. They got it right. Okay. And so over here at ibüümerang, we're going to get it right as well. I'm just kind of sharing this stuff with you now. So that's what we've done here, and we've done it in that short period of a time as well. Now, let me give you a couple of corporate operations that we've got. You saw the commercial about iBoom Hub. It's an online repository for independent go-getters, okay? Use it, use it, use it. Make sure that you go use iBoom Hub. Why? Be responsible. You are the leader. You are the leader. Don't count on somebody else being your leader. Don't count on the diamonds or the emeralds or whoever it may be being your leader. You are the leader, okay? Customer service improvements. We made a significant investment that you guys probably don't even know about. You're probably witnessing that it's happening, but we made an investment. We're looking to always get better. Here's what our philosophy is of why we're doing what we're doing and what we're doing. Number one, our philosophy is to make sure that we transition to give what we call a first-class consumer experience. That means to our TSAs as well. Well, the times are changing. We want to make sure that we're offering you a business of the future, not one of the past. You know, people say, well, you know what, when I was with this company, this is how we did it. Well, I can give you some examples too of how we did it. You know, when I got in network marketing, they send me a check. I had to write out the commission checks for my team, and they had to come to my house and I have to write their commission checks and give them. But it doesn't mean that I still should be doing that. You know, my mom always tells me, she used to tell me things. And remember, I love my mom. $1,300 a month was the mentality that she had from a financial standpoint. And she'd always tell me things like, son, when I was your age, we used to walk 2 miles to go to school. Well, mom, does that mean I should be walking 2 miles? The whole thing of you having me is progress. Okay. So my son doesn't have to walk 2 miles. Or I should, maybe if I'm walking a mile, that's progress. But what if I don't have to walk? What if now we progress to the point that we can afford transportation to pick me up? What if we can, you know, get to the next point where I can afford my own transportation? I have my own car. That's called progress. That's what we should be doing. Don't look back and say, this is what I had to do, and this is what I did. Look in the future and say, here's what the future is. ibüümerang is what we're doing is we're creating the opportunity of the future. We're creating some things that have never been done here before. We're creating things that the industry of network marketing and business together has never, ever, ever seen. Okay? I'm letting you know there's some things that we're doing that's never been done before. And we have to start with our philosophies, and we have to start through a pre-launch process. Our whole goal is to be what we call cloud-based, right? Why? Because it's more efficient. It's more effective. I know you say, well, I like talking to some people. Let me share with you what happens. It's so inefficient. What we've done is we've taken some statistics and data, and we realize that when people call in and get a customer service agent on the phone, it takes 20 minutes per call. That means that if we're paying a customer service agent by the hour, they do 3 calls per hour. That means if we're paying them $15 an hour, that means that we paid them $5 just to answer 1 call about how do I register a new person. We paid them $5 to answer that. And then the other 15 minutes of that call is other things that are non-related to what that issue is. Now, we don't have a problem paying. We pay very well to our customer service agents. But what we realize is that we have 96,000 users. Okay. And I wish I had time. I want to show you a plan of how we'll be, where we're going to be, and how we'll be, at the end of this year, December, we'll be at about $22 million per month in sales. We've already scoped it out. We know exactly how we're going to get there. $22 million in sales. I want to share that plan with you guys so you'll know where we'll be. That means that going into our first full year of business, we're already set that if we didn't grow, that we'll do over $200+ million in revenue first year, first full year in business. Okay, has nothing to do with the amount of travel bookings. That will be over $1 billion. Okay, but we're just talking about business revenue. All right, and so as I shared with you, my last opportunity, 2 million, then 9 million. But guess where I went from 9 million? I went to $47 million in business. 47. I went from 47 to 152 million, 152 to $298 million. Okay. And so here with what we're doing, it's going to be better. And I was telling you about my buddy who couldn't handle it. And what he did is this, guys, when we had those issues, he dropped off the bandwagon and he went to a company. And I'm not saying this so that to try to deter you. Guys, remember, you have freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm just sharing with you wisdom here. He went to a company that says, hey, we're just like that company, but better. And guess what? They were better at disappointing him because they promised him the moon, and he went over there to that company and he became the master distributor of that company. And 90 days later, all the promises that they made, they defaulted on. He was gone in 6 months in that company, but he lost his position. And I can tell you there were people, here's what I can tell you that happened. He was the I think first person on the left-hand team of the side of the organization. And that team alone had done over $1.5 billion of revenue that he would have been overriding. You start looking at a percentage of $1.5 billion of revenue, okay, almost $2 billion of revenue, and that was what he missed out on. And now I see him, and you know, he's a little bitter. Okay, he's a little bitter. We're still friends, and I don't kind of jab it into him, but it was his decision that he had to make. Why? Because he couldn't handle that we were out of product. And when he left, we got product 3 months after he came. And so guess what? He could have lived without having product for 3 months, but now he'll live without earned tens of millions for the rest of his life. And so you start weighing that. What would you rather do? 3 months of no product, or the rest of my life, tens of millions of dollars? I mean, really tens of millions of dollars. He was set up to earn probably about 60 to $70 million of what I believe he would have earned. And you go back and look at that and say, I traded that for 3 months in a promise. And I don't even know if he's even in network marketing today. But anyway, so we've invested into a brand new system that allows us to respond to you much faster. We're going to, it's now taking all the Facebook customer service things and it puts them into our queue. It's a complete ticketing system. We're watching, we have all the data, we have all the information. I can be on my phone anywhere in the world and I can see how many customer service tickets are being answered and asked and things of that nature. Now, if you notice, we have online chat. You go there, we have online chat that's happening right now. So we're mastering the art of being able to get that. We're working also on multiple languages that we're going to be facilitating all of that through as well. We are bringing in a system of using WhatsApp. Okay, so we have now applied for that. We're waiting on the approval for that, and so we want to communicate with you the way you communicate. Okay, the way you communicate now. I know you may communicate by phone. That's the only thing that we're not going to do. It's not effective, okay? I know you want somebody to tell you things on the phone and stuff like that, but it's just not effective for us as a company to scale and do the things that we're going to be doing. We have designed a brand new element of the Prib that I can't wait until we roll it out. An element of the Prib that is going to be a part of customer service. Let me kind of give you a little Snapchat here. Okay, a little snapshot. Snapshot. Okay, you know how Amazon has Alexa, how Apple has Siri. ibüümerang will have Prib. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. All right, that's all I'm going to say there. Alexa, hey, do this, Alexa, and Apple has Siri. Well, we have Prib. All right, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that it's nobody in network marketing has done this. Why? Because they make too much money doing it the wrong way. Why invest all of the money we're investing into this technology if I can just do what every other network marketing company has done and I can still earn millions of dollars as an owner? Well, that's the way some companies think. Not all, but some companies think. Not here at ibüümerang. Okay, so we've got Prib, and so we're going to be bringing you a whole lot more. I'll give you one little thing that Prib will do. Okay, here's the example. I kind of shared a little bit of this, but let me give you one little sneak peek. Can I give them one little sneak peek, T. Gray, Mark? Okay. So we were doing an analysis, guys. We're real big on analyzing our business. We're not kind of here by happenstance. We know exactly which months we're going to hit what. We know how it all works, and we're getting close now, even though all systems are not go. But we looked at some of our revenue. We had looked at the business that we had done, and with when we had hit 10 million, I think it was 10,555,000 in business. We had taken a snapshot. Let's go back and review every single thing that we've done. Why? So that we don't repeat the same thing in the future that doesn't work, but the things that did work, let's repeat those and make them even better. So here's what we did. We analyzed and said how many people that we had to cancel their business, or how many returns that we have. We looked at it. We had $169,000 in returns. Here again, full transparency. Well, we already knew that. Why? Because we knew that in the very beginning, specifically our pre-launch time, that many of those were emotional buyers. We knew that many people were joining the business just because they heard and they didn't want to lose out. But after they joined, they didn't do their homework to say, let me find out what it is that I'm a part of. Okay. And so they were not connected. And so 40% of our revenue, we knew it was emotional revenue. So we knew we'd have a percentage of returns that would come through that. 169,000 was about 1.69% of our revenue. We looked at it and we thought, wow, it's less than we thought it was going to be, right? We didn't have all of our customer service in place. Our customer service was overwhelmed. That revenue, that never, it was a tsunami. You can't build a barrier big enough to support a tsunami. And that's what we've got here, a tsunami. So we knew our first month was going to be the biggest month. We knew the second month what we were going to do. We knew what we were going to do our third month. We projected all of this because we know what we're doing in business. So we said 169,000. Some companies just look at it and say, well, that's cool. We beat what every other company would have done. I looked at it and says, this is horrible. We underestimated what it would be, but what if it was only 20,000? So we looked at how can we fix that? How can we do something that no other company in network marketing has done? So we looked at the problem. The best thing that you can do is say, what if? What if stimulates your brain? You know, like what if I went out prospecting today? You probably might meet some people, all right? That it stimulates creativity. What if I worked my business? What if I sent out a boomerang? What if, right? What if we could solve that issue? So we looked at it and we've got a new division that we're architecting right now, putting all of the pieces in place that we'll be able to launch as a component of the PRIB as well, that we said, well, 169,000. What if we had the PRIB that we actually brought in when we talk about the human resources component, we talk about our PRIB being a mixture of data analytics, artificial intelligence, augmented intelligence, and human resources, a Zappos philosophy when it comes to human resources. Well, we're putting that together. And what we're doing is we're now building a team of screen professional telemarketers that understand our business model. Okay, these are not like call them all telemarketers or these slam dunk telemarketers. No, it's going to be through our passion, and they're going to understand the iboomerang way. Well, we looked at that 169,000 and thought, what if these people were making the phone calls? And so from now on, when a person wants to return something, they don't go through customer service. They go through an elevated customer service, which is the PRIB, a part of the PRIB. Those are the people that are very highly trained, high skilled. Many of them will be six-figure earners with our company. And they get on and they find out what the real issue is with your distributor. Because many distributors, if they quit your organization, they don't quit because the product doesn't work. They quit because maybe they can't have somebody understand what they're thinking or feeling. Well, we elevate it to the PRIB. The PRIB takes those calls. The PRIB solves those issues for those people and get them going again. And when they get those people going again, guess what? They save that. They save the first class pack. That's $1,000 that they save the company. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay that customer service agent $200, 20% of what they save. All right. Guess what? For you as a distributor, the volume was saved in your organization as well. And we saved it. We saved the distributor, and now the exponential growth takes place. Okay. We also looked at the number of people who are coming into the business at what level. Right now, people are killing the first class. Okay. It's being crushed right now. But we're also finding, took a snapshot of a week, and we had about 500 people that week join, 497 people join at the standby level. And we said, why? Why did they join at standby? Our goal is not to upgrade somebody and just get them to buy more. Our goal is to educate them on the value of who we are as a company. And so if we trade our value, then they'll make sure that they want to exchange their money for what they believe in value. A component of our PRIB will actually be making phone calls to every single person that joined at the $49 level. They'll take the time to articulate who we are as a company, our value system, what the offers really are, instead of just, hey, listen, every single time you stay in a hotel, you're going to save $2,000, which is how some of our distributors promote, because they've heard one thing, they're not plugged in, and they over promote and then they underdeliver. And these people will actually go through that and upgrade them. And so now when they upgrade them from 49 to whatever package and educate them, well, now you guys are going to split the additional upgrade fast start. The distributor will take 80% of that. You'll get a percentage of it, and then we'll give them 20% of it as well. And so they'll be earning income. Why? Because that's not your job. You're not good at it. And I'm not talking to the monkeys are good at it. Or sometimes really the monkeys aren't. The monkeys sometimes can go out there and get the 49s and the first class, but sometimes the monkeys don't take enough time. We call them bush shakers. They go out and shake the bushes, but you got to have somebody who come behind and clean up and pick up all the fruit. And so we'll let the monkeys do what they do. We'll let the elephants do what they do and the fish do what they do. But now we have a complete business. Now you're not leaving money on the table, okay? And so that's one of the reasons that's one of the things that we're doing with Prib. So we're hiring, we're putting that in place for you, so that when you're running, and now when your group gets 25 levels deep and you're not so effective, you don't even know who people are, the Prib knows who they are. Okay, the Prib knows who they are. So that's some of the stuff that we're doing as well. So we've got the live chat, we've got the Facebook tickets. We're moving also to WhatsApp tickets that's going to be on there. Why? Many of you communicate by WhatsApp, so you'll be able to get WhatsApp done, and it's called Fresh Desk, okay? I want to thank Cesar Munoz. I was sitting there in Mexico, and guess what we were talking about? What if? And Cesar said, there's a company that does WhatsApp. I said, who is that company? What if we can have a meeting with them? Guess what happened? I told T. Gray, I told him one time. Next thing you know, he was having this big conference call, and we did several calls. All the team has now been trained on it, and it's great. And I can even get in there and see it. And so we know that this stuff works. How do I know it works? Because you're CEO, I get in on customer service tickets as well. And when I see people, I want to know every aspect of what's going on in the company. If somebody's upset, why are you upset? Why are you angry? And they have every right to be. But my job and our role as companies to calm them down, let them know it's going to be okay. And you know what? I've gone on, and every single person who's wanted to quit, I got in as the leader of the Prib team, explained to them what we're doing, why it worked that way. And you know what? They were cool. I only had one person that followed through on their resignation because they had already done it before. But we saved them. And so if I can save them, our Prib team can save them. They don't have to worry about all the stuff. That's all that they're going to do, is make sure that your people are in the business. But make sure that you do your job and don't overpromise, okay? Travel stuff. Let's talk about travel stuff. Improvements are being made in key segments. We have enriched some of our product offering. I don't know if you know, we've added 1 million new properties as into our iGo platform, so that when people are comparing the homes and the weeks, the Airbnb comparisons, we have 1 million additional properties in there, 400,000 new homes that we put in there as well. And in Asia, in the China market, because we want to service Asia, we let our supplier know where some of our biggest markets are, and they're improving. And so we've enriched 114,000 new properties in Asia alone, 10,000 brand new hotels that are 5-star hotels in China. China's become a pretty big travel destination for a lot. And guys, that's where it is. You know, I won't get as graphic as I did in Atlanta, but right now, I tell you, our iGo platform, the thing I love about it is that it works. Even though it works, this is what I call version 1. Think about your first iPhone. If you tried to do the things today on your iPhone 1 when it came out, it doesn't happen. A lot of things that were missing, limited storage that was happening, that you had on your iPhone, a lot of bugs that they had in there as well. And so it's the same thing over here. So we're doing our thing to work it out. I was working with some distributors over in Poland as well, and they were like, man, I can't promote because it seems like our prices are never good. I addressed that. I got on a live Zoom call with one of the main leaders over there, and every single property that they said was more expensive on our platform, we went on a Zoom. I went there, and they were blown away. And guess what happened as a result of that? They're now building the business. They put new people in. They've got a game plan because they were thinking that something, well, we addressed it. And so those things are being worked out. I talked with one of our diamonds, Avinash, over in London, and he told me, he says, HB, he says, listen, he says, man, when we first started, you know, it was a lot. It was probably 5 out of every 10. We were higher. Well, we work with our supplier, and he says, man, we don't hear any of those complaints anymore. It's letting us know that it's improving, okay? It's letting us know that it's improving. And so I get on, every time I get one of those complaints, I get on myself and I look it up myself. And and it's really, 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 really good. Okay. Now here's the thing. Okay. I see someone on the panel said, we are still higher. Okay. Let me go ahead and manage expectations here. Okay. We can't be still higher. I'm in a hotel here, and I saved money. I'll be in a hotel tomorrow. I'll save money. And I've got testimonials everywhere. So here's the thing I want you to look at. Okay. Here's the thing I want you to look at. When you use our platform, it's not what I call the automatic, immediate, 100%. Nobody will ever, ever, ever dare to post something that's going to be cheaper than what it is that we have to offer. Guys, you know what? That's really unrealistic to put that out there. This program was designed to do exactly what it's designed to do, and that's save you money. If you go on and you take a look at just go to the iGo platform. When we first launched this company, it was $56 million in savings. Today, it's $67 million in savings. And that's 90 days, we've saved customers and distributors over $11 million in bookings, okay? That's a sign that it's working, okay? That it is working. And so what I have seen as well is this. I've seen distributors, and you have the right to do this. Here's what I see, is that, I gave an example in Atlanta, and I had the screen that was blank. And then what I did is I put a dot on the screen. I asked those people, what do you see? And everybody saw the dot. The dot was the smallest component of what was on the screen. The entire screen had opportunity. It was completely clear. It was a brand new slate that they could have seen, but everybody focused on the dot. And what do I mean by that? Is that some people will get on and they'll spend 4 hours to find, and I'm not saying this is our panelists here, but some people get on and they will spend 4 hours to find a hotel that's 22 cents cheaper than iGo. And they'll say, oh, look, caught you guys. And they were never planning to visit there, ever, okay? I've seen people send me the same date, 7 different countries. How are you going to be in 7 countries on the same date? You weren't planning to be in those countries. It was the same dates that you were looking at. That's no excuse, but I'm just letting you know that I don't want you to beat up on the platform and say, well, it doesn't work. I can tell you right now, every time I use it, it works. It works. Okay. Are there some places that have been more expensive? Yes. Now, well, here's what we've realized. In some of the foreign markets, there were regional tracking and mapping that wasn't congruent. So we were comparing apples to oranges. Okay. And so what we're doing now is on Monday, we've got a meeting with our platform. Our executives are going to be there. We're dialing this thing back. We're putting more into it as well. So that way, when we search a foreign destination, we're using the same algorithm for searches that they're using, because on our platform, we'll see it's cheaper. But if they're in another country, they see that it's more expensive, and they don't know what it is that we see, but they can't book like they're from America because they're not from America. So, but that's how that program has been, and we're making sure that we get that to working as well. Also, we're going to be bringing to you your traditional travel agency platform as well. For those of you who just want to book travel for some of your people and you want to do the bookings, we're bringing that to you. I know one of our diamonds, William Thurston, brought that to me, and I said, hey, William, don't worry. That's what your team wanted. Don't worry. We got you. We got you. So those of you who want to give thanks to that, you can thank him for that. We're going to be bringing that out, but we're going to make it better than what it was even before. Okay, that opportunity will be there. Let's see here. So we've got that. A couple of things that we're working on right now is some of the customer service improvements, the user experiences as well for that. I just mentioned the strategy for Asia and Europe, and how that will work. And we're working on bundles right now as well. People have been requesting bundles. And that is where you can go and book your airline and your hotel and your car rental all in one package. We're working on that right now, so that will enhance the benefits that you have in your iGo platform, and we'll get it. We'll get it done. One of the things I can tell you is that we are so proud. Why? Because ibüümerang has received its first commissions for booking. Okay, for people who've actually used the platform, and the trips have been taken, and how the process actually works is a customer books, we don't pay on the booking, we pay after it's been complete, okay? We pay after it's been complete. So you go to the platform, you make a booking. What we notice is the first day we open, a lot of the books, some people booked and they still haven't taken their trip. Why? Because they were planning 6 months ahead. Okay, we don't pay you on the intentions, we pay you on the result. All right. So that means when a person books, and so all of these bookings here that happen in the month of April, okay, so what happens is they book on the month of April. Let's just say if they booked in April 30th, it takes 2 weeks to 30 days for the hotel to pay our supplier. Our supplier pays us the following month, which now is that following month. And then what we're going to do is pay our TSAs on it. But here's what happens is now once you're in the cycle, you start having commissions that are booked every single day if you got a team that's booking. So if you don't have a team, but you have people who are booking and using the platform every day, you got travel events that are taking place every single month, then every month after your first one, you will be receiving travel commissions, okay? You will be receiving travel commissions, all right? So that's one of the benefits. I'm really excited about that. Why? Because I remember when I first started making money in networking, my first commission, when I made my first 6 figures, my first check was $25. It was the most important check that I had received. Why? Because I knew that it worked. I knew that I did what they said and I got a commission. And that's all I needed to know. And I went on in that company. I was 90 days later, I was over $20,000 a week. Why? Because $25 let me become a believer. I earn money from it. Okay. And so I'm so excited when I see commissions. Why? I looked at some of the commissions and I've seen commissions as low as 16 cents. You say, well, how does that work? Because what happens is distributors, remember, if you guys don't know, we voted to increase the amount that distributors will actually pay by 10%. So let's say if a distributor, saved $1.60 on whatever it was, well, 10% of that was 16 cents. Okay. Here's why I am more proud of the 16 cents than I am of some of our distributors who made already almost $500,000. Well, here's why. The $500,000 or the 70,000 that I said Cesar had made in the last 3 weeks, and by no means that's an income guarantee. It's just they did the work, guys. We've got several people. I read a list of the number of people who are over $10,000 a week. It's insane. I haven't seen that ever. 10,000 a week, and we've got a laundry list of them. Over 10 people, over $10,000 a week already in the company. Okay, so but here's why I'm more impressed with the $10 with the 16 cents, because there's not one network marketing company in the world who can say we pay a commission when people pay less. You can't find one. Okay, we pay a commission when people pay less. See, everything else that I've earned money on, every product that I've sold, it was because people paid more. Okay, here people paying less, and that's a commission. The first time it's ever been done, and I'm excited. I'm whoever receives that, I hope you frame it. Okay, because it's now we've got some bigger ones too, but okay, great, that's cool. The small one, if it was a penny, I could look at it and say, this person here, they did something that nobody else in the company, in the industry of network marketing has ever done. They can't pay commissions on savings. I was watching, Tigger, I was looking at the list. I saw Mike Baccia, which is one of our technology providers. He uses the platform, and I saw savings going to somebody because he used the platform. He's not in the company, but he believes in what we do. And I saw a commission there. All right, now, financial stuff. Let's go into financial stuff. We have integrated a new payment processor that it's called Trust My Travel. It's a major advancement specifically for some of the other areas, Africa, Asia, Latin America. The approval ratings and acceptance of those credit cards have been drastically improved. That is a great thing. Our vouchers have been available for enrollments, renewals, and upgrades. That's been working, and so we're having just some great engagement there. However, let me give you some of the bad and the ugly. The challenges, we've had a couple of challenges with the BitPay. For those of you who've been trying to pay with Bitcoin, A new module right now is being redone. It's expected to be completed by the end of the month. Obviously how that just changes. So we'll have that done, but that's on our supplier side. Okay. So we've got to allow them to do that. Here's another one. Here's an ugly one. Let's talk about some ugly real quick. Binary calculations and the adjustments that were done this past week here. I know some of you are probably wondering, okay, so you're going to talk about that? Of course. Guys, I want to kind of share with you where we are with that. Here's what we've done, and I pat my team on the back because they've done a phenomenal job. We've launched a company, 96,000 users. We merged an existing network that had a completely different compensation plan than the one that we have right now. If it would have been exactly the same, no problem. Completely different compensation plan. We've merged them in, and here's what we've got. We had a cluster, and if you know what a cluster means, guys, that it was like taking square pegs trying to put them in round holes. Okay, it just doesn't fit all the time, and so we've been working around the clock, and I can tell you that we are approaching an additional close to 200 grand and expenses that we never thought we'd have to pay, but it doesn't matter. I'm just giving you what it is to say, get it done. Get it done. Let's make it work, okay? And it hasn't been the best for us, but I think we've got it now dialed in. We had a segment of the merger that their commissions weren't reporting correctly. Why? Because the data that we got was not good data. I'll just be candid. It was not good data. It didn't have the qualifications in for who was qualified, so it didn't show that they were qualified for commissions. And so it goes through our engine. Missing data components come up and we're like, no commission, no commission, no commission, no commission, even though these people were qualified for commission. So we did an audit on our system. As you know, this past week has been audit week for 90 days, looking at everything to upgrade, spent countless hours auditing everything. And we now have fixed that. All of those commissions will have been updated and in the system, showing by Monday is a target date that we're giving that will be updated and shown. And we fixed that bug. Will there be a bug that we don't know about show up later? Possibly, but we don't know until it comes up. But we've gone through and looked at every possible way that something could have gone wrong and said, hey, listen, we can't find anything else. Let's move forward. The first residual commissions will show up on the 20th of the month. Okay, so you guys will be able to see the power of the residual commission plan as well. And as much as we pound it, say, hey, listen, let's go through and let's think 6 months ahead and look at it from being in business 6 months, what we would have done before that commit, because let's have as issue-free of a residual commission as possible. And when they show up, is there possibility of some issue? Yes. Will we fix it? Of course. But that's part of the ugly. Okay. The other thing that I want to mention to you is this, is that what we've done is through our audit, we found something that we didn't even know. Okay. Guys, listen, I'm probably happy and sad to report in both in this sentence that we had over 1,100 fast start commissions that our system never calculated. Fast start bonuses, over 1,100 of them. That means 1,100 people didn't get paid money that we told you we were going to pay you. You did the work, we didn't pay you. We paid out a whole bunch, but there was 1,100 through our audit that didn't get paid. We found out what that glitch was with all of this merging all of this stuff together. And guess what? Is it being paid out on Monday, T. Gray? What day is that?
It was paid on Friday.
Oh, it was paid on Friday. Okay. It was
paid it out already.
Friday. Okay, awesome. I see somebody say, I got mine yesterday. So it was paid out. Okay. And so if we knew about it, okay, we would have come out and told you right away. We just figured this out. And so that's why I said, no, I've got to do a CEO update call so I can let everybody know what's really going on, because we got to let you know what we find. We found that and it's in there. So and so we're always going through with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that we get everything in place the way it's supposed to be in place. So over 1,100 of them. So number one, guys, I want to thank you for your patience and your trust. But we found it and we paid it out. The other thing is we looked at some of the volume that was not paid but carried forward. Now, I'll tell you something that we did do. Okay, one of the things that we did do is from a standpoint of working the business is we looked at how some of the commissions were paid. What we did is we paid some of you your residual commissions. We paid it in the binary. Okay, we paid it in the binary, and we were having a discussion of how do we take it out and put it where it's supposed to be. And here's the decision that I made, just letting you know, because sometimes I do want a pat on the back. And that is, we made a decision on some of you. We'll let you keep it. You'll keep that overpayment in the binary, and we're still going to pay you on the back end. So you'll get paid double time for some of that. Now, some of these that were like huge, big, we're going to be talking to these guys, these diamonds, and letting them know and say, hey, listen, we're taking that out. You'll see the minus, and we'll put it on the back end. But we don't want to penalize our people who are out there. Just really, this is my first commission, and I'm seeing a negative on there. We don't want to do that. So we're just going to pay it out to you anyway and let you keep that income. Okay. So that's really how that will work. I want to show you something here real quick. Okay. Hold on one second here. T-Gray, is my camera working? Can you see me?
You turned your camera off.
I turned the camera off.
Mark's gonna make you the host again.
Okay, hold on 1 second here. Just give me one second.
Mark, you're gonna have to make HB the host.
Hold on 1 second. Let me hold on for a second. All right, what about now?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. All right, so that's one of the updates that we got there. A couple other things I want to get through here real quick. So the volume not paid out but carried forward. All your carryover volume is now correct. It's all in there. It's all right. And once we get through those, that means that we're done with that. Pay app. Okay, here's another ugly one here. I know we've got a segment of people who call for your wires, and again, pay app hadn't paid up. I don't like it. Okay, it's a point of disappointment that we carry. Here's the thing I want you to know. We've done our part, and our relationship that we have with pay app, we've tried to make this really a good relationship that we have. Here's what happened. Just so that you know, pay app has now changed banks. That's a good thing. They've now gone with ING Bank, because ING has a bank in almost every country that we do business, that people are getting paid. It makes it easier so that when you do those wires, that the wire fees are minimal to none. And also when a wire gets rejected, there's no fees. We were going through our system and they were using an intermediary. And an intermediary means that if I'm going to send Mark Kidcart money, and let's say I can't reach him, so I send that money to T. Gray. T. Gray, get that money to Mark. Well, if I send that money to T. Gray to get to Mark, T. Gray is going to say, I got to get a percentage of it because I don't work for free. Well, what if I send it to Mark and Mark gave me the wrong information? I've already sent it to T. Gray. T. Gray took it to Mark's address. T. Gray comes back and says, HB, Mark put in the wrong address. I can't deliver his money. I'll say, okay, well, give me that money back. Well, T. Gray is going to say, hey, listen, you still have to pay me. I still use a lot of my resources to get to Mark's wrong address. And so we were charging, or they were charging our TSAs even when wires did not go through because of that intermediary. We wanted to eliminate that. And so they went to a brand new, not a brand new bank, but a larger bank that has much more resources and make deposits even faster. Throughout that process, and I'll be candid with you, I got on and I chewed some hiney. They didn't let us know it's my polite word. They didn't let us know to the degree of the delay that it would take, that they were going to be doing what we call a test run first, instead of going ahead and submitting all of the wires. And when I found that out, and that the delay that we've had, And even when they switched banks, that they were not going to process all the wires and move them all to the new system. You know, I turn red, and it's dark. It's hard for me to turn red, if you know what I mean. So here are our options. Our options were, number one, to catch a temper tantrum and just say, you know what, forget pay app. Let's go to this one here, pay up. Well, we could do that. And here's the possibilities of what takes place. When you go through that as well, there's no company that is perfect. Even ones that are working perfectly for other companies now, every company has a bespoke or a customized way that they do their processing. And if we switched over to another company, it would be a delay. It would probably cause some other headaches that you probably don't experience now. And so, or we could say, hey, listen, let's roll with them through the punches, just like you guys have rolled with us through some of our punches as well. And so our decision that we've made as of now is, hey, listen, let's give these guys that opportunity to get this new bank up and running. They put in a whole new customer service team for us. They're making some changes. I don't like it. It's a very sore point for me. When you do the work, you're supposed to get paid accurately and on time. And that's what we want to do. That's where we want to go. And for some of that, it's worked, and for some of it, it hasn't. But I just want to come up and just tell you the truth of why and what's happened. Wires were actually sent this weekend. I was so excited to tell some of the leaders, hey, listen, the wires are going to be at your bank on Wednesday. Well, they were. On Friday. But it was at the bank, but not in your account. That's still not good enough. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. But it's what's happened. And I can tell you that one of the things I don't want to do is I don't want to cut off my nose to spite my face, if you've ever heard that term, which means, take a situation and jump into some more water that I haven't fully investigated and I don't completely 100% understand. At least I understand them. I know that you guys trust us and not trust pay app. I've been told that many, many times. And you know what? They've earned that. They have. And I've let them know that they've earned it. But what I won't do is I won't allow something to continue to take place and harm our distributors, because that's called abuse. When you do something the first time, it's a mistake. When you do it the second time, it's your plan. And if you do it the third time, it's called abuse. And I don't accept abuse, and I don't allow anybody to abuse our TSAs. So we apologize for it. That money from us has been long sent out to them, and getting it to you. It's a complicated system. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do this, specifically with where we want to go. But we chose them because we can scale on a global basis. Okay, we can scale all the way around the world. There's some companies that I'm familiar with that we can use, but we can only use them in maybe 5 countries. And if we use them only in 5 countries, we're gonna segment this process so much that you won't even recognize our company of who we are. So we have some redundancy lined up. We're doing a lot of investigation. We're not just saying, hey, we're relying on them 100%, but we're gonna partner with them. We're partnered with them right now. We've given some suggestions, and we've given some hard do's and don'ts. And if many of those don'ts are crossed, then we'll be coming to you on another call saying, hey guys, be patient. We have a new company that we have. But at the end of the day, what we're looking for is some resources to take care of those emergency situations, specifically for those top leaders here, and make things work for you. So from that, we really do it. We apologize for it. I hate it. I can't stand not doing what I said I was going to do. Just don't like doing that. For some of you, there's no replacement for it, but I can tell you what we will do. For those of you who are in the system now, you've been with us, okay? And ibüümerang is all about giving. You guys have given, and you've given your time, you've given your dedication, you've given your patience and your trust, and we're never going to betray your trust. We won't, as ibüümerang. We're going to be disappointed, but we'll never betray your trust in us. Anything that's owed to you, we're going to give it to you. And so you've given us your promotion. You've taken us to 96,000 users. And so for everyone that's on this call here that have been in the system and you are active in the business, what we're going to do is today, we're going to give every single person, not 10, we're going to give you 20 boomerangs. Okay? 20 boomerangs for every single person. No cost, nothing whatsoever. You don't owe us anything. We owe you. You've given us your time. You've given us your belief. You've made us, by the way, GrowJo has us now as the number 10 fastest growing company in the world, okay, by GrowJo. You go to growjo.com and you'll see the fastest growing company. We were once number 17, bumped up to number 14, now number 10, and we're not stopping. This will be the largest network marketing company in the history of the world. Why? Because we are just different, okay? We are just different. That's just who we are. And I don't want you guys to thank me. Don't thank me for that. I thank you. That's not something that you need to call me and say, hey, thank you, HB. You guys have done it. Okay, it's you. I don't know, Mark or T. Gray, when that will be up in the system. When will we be able to push those boomerangs to them?
You know what I'm doing right now. You know who I'm contacting.
I know. Because at first it was 10. It was 10 guys, and you got to remember, we pay for every one of these boomerangs. But I'm reading through my list here, and I'm like, man, I let's take care of our people. Okay, let's give them. It's 20 boomerangs that we're going to give every single person in here. I don't care if you got in at standby, okay, and you're still standing by. If you're active, okay, you get 20 boomerangs. Every single person, you're going to see it in your back office, okay? Now, here's another customer service issue we're going to have, all right? I'm predicting it. I didn't receive my free boomerangs, okay? Maybe you weren't active or whatever it is, but stay active, okay? Stay active, ladies and gentlemen. Stay active, okay? But that's what we've had with PayApp. So we're addressing those delayed payouts. I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of our team here. I mean, I know David Manning is out there right now in London, just knocking it out of the park. I'm sure that meeting may be over, but he's been out there in Spain, all over the world. We had Lori over there in Norway. She's back now. But teams are all over everywhere. But I want to thank every one of you for just being there. And when we say sticking in there with us, guys, we don't mean it for some of you who are brand new, like this has been a bad experience. This has been a great experience. This has been one of the most progressive experiences that I've experienced. I've been doing this 29 years. And I'm proud that we've done what we've done. I'm proud of how we're doing it, and that we're just operating on a philosophy of honesty, integrity, and transparency. And when you can do that, that's all you can do. That's all we can do is just come out and give you the real deal, okay? But they'll get to you. So T. Gray's making it happen. So T. Gray, can I say that they'll have it before Monday morning in their back office?
No, Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday. Okay. So T. Gray is saying you'll have them by Tuesday. So Renee, you got 20 more boomerangs coming. I know you're going to go out. I know they're probably already issued, people waiting for her boomerang. So I think I'm going to create something. You know what I'm going to do? You know, Great. I'm going to create something. I'm going to create an unlimited program. Probably here. Let me ask you guys a question. Here again. Okay. I'm off record here.
You're off the reservation.
Yeah, I'm off the reservation.
We get nervous when he starts doing this.
Okay.
He's off the chain. He's off everything.
I told you guys, I prepare my spirit for these calls. I don't prepare all my notes. I can give you my notes, but but that when I read my notes, it's boring. I don't even get excited about my notes. I get excited when I come from here. I got a question for you. I want you guys to vote. Remember, this is your company. It's not mine. It's not Edwin's. It's not David's. It's not T. Gray's, Mark Kipkart's, and a whole host of other people that you don't even know who work for this. We got a lot of people who work for this company now. And we're always hiring, guys, by the way. So if anybody that you know of is send them, T. Gray's way, if they're qualified, just send an email, whatever it is, let them know. We want to let people know we're hiring. We're the 10th fastest growing company, according to GrowJo, in the world right now. And we need talent. We need brain power, and we need talent. Okay. So my question is this here. What if we did a top 10? Okay. T. Gray, what if we did a top 10 boomerang every month? Who actually activates the most boomerang customers every month? And we just reload them the next month. Okay? Because guys, I want you to vote. Do you want something like that? that if we take our top 10 enrollers, you become a top 10 enroller, means that the number of TSAs you enroll every month. Every month, we just take a look at our top 10. And then we take a look at our top 10 customers acquisition people. And we say, you know what? We're going to reload you. You're reloaded. You're top 10. You tell us whether you want that, okay? And we're going to see if I can get 50% of the people on this call to say yes. Now, not 25%, not 35%. No, I need 51% of the people on this call to type in yes somewhere, okay? And they got to give some hearts, some love, whatever it is, and we'll reload them. I don't want Renee sitting there like, wow, I'm doing all that I can. I've got 10,000 customers already, and I got to go sponsor more people to get more boomerangs or whatever it may be, which is great. She's going to sponsor more people anyway. Let's just show her some love and say, reload, hit that reload button and just, you need more, reload, okay? So now listen, if I have 50.9% of the people respond, no, we're not doing it, okay?
What did he say in Scarface? I'm reloaded.
Reloaded, baby.
Holton, you're gonna break Zoom right now.
Hey, break it. Listen, break it. You know, listen, pay app is broken. Why not have Zoom broken, right? All right. So let's break it, okay? No problem. All right. So now, we'll you know, I'm going to go back and look. We're going to go back and count. If it's 49.9%, no, we need 51%, as they say, 51. Okay.
I don't know. The Facebook group is kind of slow on this one.
Yeah,
the Zoom group is all over it, but the Facebook group is really lagging on the reloads here.
Listen, I got to have 50% from Facebook and Zoom. So Facebook, listen, y'all better get your act together. Okay. Get your act together. I'm watching you right now on Facebook. I'm watching you guys. Okay. So we'll do that. All right. We're going to take a look at that and get that. Now, what is the last thing? Upcoming events that we have, and I want to just give you 3 items that I told you I'd train on. I'm not going to train. I'm going to just.
Hey, HB. By the way, I just want you to know when you started going off the reservation, I messaged our tech team and said, y'all may want to jump on this Zoom real quick so y'all can hear it firsthand what y'all got to do.
All right. Okay. So guys, you know, listen. We've got some major events coming up right now. We've got San Jose on the 23rd. Guys, you cannot miss.
22nd. 22nd.
Don't come on the 23rd, okay? The 22nd. It's the 22nd. My notes are wrong. It was me. My notes are wrong, okay? On the 22nd, okay? You see how I think in the future, guys? I do. On the 22nd, we've got San Jose, California. Guys, no matter where you're from, get there. If you went to the first one, come to the second one. I'm just telling you, it's what I do. It's what leaders do. It's what we do. It's who we are, okay? Can't wait, guys. It's going to be an absolutely phenomenal event that's going to take place there. We've got David Manning, as I mentioned, doing a tour all across Europe right now. We got Edwin Haynes in July. It's going to be touring all over Europe. There may be a chance that HB stop in one of those places and do a cameo, but it won't be announced. I'm letting you know. I might just do that Europe thing because I'm going to the British Open. I'm here right now at the US Open. One of my dreams was to do it. And I said, you know what, why wait? Let me just do it. All right. So I'll be going to the British Open as well. And I might just stop over there while Edwin Haynes is over there. Okay. And then the big one, guys, is Las Vegas. Okay. Guys, get yourselves registered for Vegas. You know, I can give a promo right now and tell you all the stuff, but just look at the top earners. They're at the events. If you've ever wanted to be a top producer in anything, you can't do it by being at home. You can't do it by watching everything on the Facebook Live. Be there, catch the energy, the announcements that the recognition, guys, is going to be off the charts. Okay, I want you guys to see how ibüümerang does it. Here's what's going to happen. Every company, they're going to start doing what we do. They're already starting to do it. But when they see us roll it out, they're going to start doing more of what we do, which is great because what we're doing is setting a brand new standard for the industry of network marketing. And that's why we're just different. Okay. That's why ibüümerang is just different. Get your ticket. Here's the thing. I find that many people are addicted to pain. And it's one of the reasons why people don't grow. They're addicted to pain. And what do I mean by that? Is that they'll wait and they'll make sure that they pay more for the experience than they actually needed to. Because I used to be that way. This is me, I'm just saying for myself, when I was broke, I had this loss mentality that if money left my pocket, it was money that I was losing. I never understood the concept of an investment. I never understood that. I never understood that I was investing in me or my electricity, which some months it was off because I just didn't pay the bill on time, thinking that it just, I was introduced to this lady named Grace. Anybody know Grace? Grace period? Grace and I, we knew each other on a first name basis, not because I didn't have the money. I had a poor philosophy, and I would wait and they would assess me a fee here and a fee there and a fee here. And I'd wait till the final day to pay them because I was addicted to pain. It had to get bad enough and hard enough. And the pain had to be excruciating enough. And the circumstances and the repercussions had to be bad enough for me to move. And it was one of my times in my life when I wasn't making magic happen. I make magic happen now because I'm first to move. I'm not addicted to pain. I'm addicted to the benefit, to pleasure, to the benefit of doing the right thing. And that's what I want you to do is go and be addicted to doing the right thing. Register yourself for, don't wait until it's $500 or whatever the top price is, $300. Don't, guys, that's a sign that you're not going to be successful. Okay. At the event, we sold over 50, I think over almost 50 tickets at $100. We didn't want to sell tickets at $100. We put it at $100 to make you buy it cheaper so we can plan for the size of the room and all of that stuff. We don't want to, this is not a company where we make money from the events. We don't, okay? But we want you to just do the things the way that you should. Get yourself registered for Vegas. And by the way, the new part of the PRIB as well, it's not now, but that's one of the components of it as well, is that part of the PRIB is going to actually be making sure it calls all of our TSAs and getting them registered. Why? Because we already know that we have to come on every month, every call, and we have to do what you as distributors should do, but you don't want to do. We said the things that distributors are not good at, you know what, let's hire the PRIB to do them, okay? And so, but there's so much more I can tell you about that, but it's incredible. But last thing I want to leave with is this here, guys. I give you this little one thing. I told you the 3 vital signs of a successful business is number 1, and I'll train on it a little bit later at one time. The 3 vital signs of a healthy business. Just like when you go to the doctor to check your vital signs, they check a few things and they can tell a lot by your health just by the vital signs. And here, in ibüümerang, here's the 3 vital signs. Number 1, how many people outside of yourself are showing the plan presentation? Outside of you, how many people in your organization, frontline and through your organization, through your group, are actually sharing the dream, okay? iDecide is a wonderful tool that we have. It does a lot of work. I can't wait for you to watch what we release at convention at our liftoff here with regard to iDecide. It's going to blow you away of what iDecide transforms into. You right now got version 1.0, okay, of everything. Everything is going to go 2.0 and higher, okay? But iDecide is wonderful, okay? But there's nothing that can replace you being in front of a person, whether it's on a Zoom like this or whether it's in a meeting room. You see those people having a case of the DRTs, or ask Cesar Munoz, or ask some of our other leaders, ask Luis Ventura, ask Esteban and Rodolfo, ask Avinash, ask Sam Bean and Emmanuel Bernstein and all of these other diamonds that we have. Ask Amy and Steve Seaver, about the power of being in front of a person. Even if you let the iDecide do the work, the power is being in front of them. How many people do you have doing that? Okay. Because our whole system, when we roll it out, it's going to be based on how many people are actually doing it. Okay. The second thing is how many people are attending events. Your goal, how many frontline do you have that are registered right now? Okay. Here's the thing. If you've got people registered and you're not registered, you're not leading, you're not setting the right example. Okay. You get yourself, I don't care which country you're in, you come. We've got people already registered from Australia. We had people for the Atlanta event come from Australia. We had JaCkper come from Europe. come from the UK to the Atlanta event. Why? He had to be at the leadership training. I'm telling you guys, don't ever in your life miss a leadership training that you qualified to attend. Don't ever. It's the multiplier. But we had people come all the way from Australia, 26 hours. I had a short meeting with them. They said, we came to see if we're really going to work it. And they said halfway through the leadership training, we're not only going to work it, we're going to kill this. This is right now, what you've seen from Australia has not been from us. We haven't done much yet. But we've got 30 years of experience here, and we are about to tear this thing apart. Okay? See, it was the event that they made that decision because of an event. How many people would you love right now who are on the fence to get off the fence? The get off the fence event is the event. It's Vegas. Okay? Get them off the fence. You bring them there, and we're going to do what we have to do. I see somebody say they drove 13 hours to be in Atlanta. Was it worth it? Put it in the response. Was it worth it? Was every hour? See, here's the thing. Here's what I want you to do next time. When you audio record it, when you drive back 13 hours, I want you to listen to the event while you're driving back. Listen to your recording so now here's what you did. You now have gotten 2 trainings to the person who got 1. That's what I would do. I wanted the drive to be long. If I had 30 hours drive, the longest I've ever driven was 32 hours to get to an event. And we drove 32 hours to get to an event, and I wanted it to be 60 hours. Why? Because when we got home, coming back home, I wanted the drive to be longer. Why? I wasn't finished listening to my tapes. I wasn't finished, okay? I wanted to listen to them over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Luis says he drove 35 hours to one. Ask him about the power of events and being in front of people, okay? And he had a pool party he didn't invite me to this weekend. I saw you, Luis. You had a pool party and you didn't invite me. Shame on you, Luis, okay? But here's somebody, guys, who they did the same thing. They worked hard. They got so close to diamond last month, couldn't see their numbers, and was just a smidgen away, okay? Same with Tommy Johnson. Just worked hard, smidgen away, all right? But events, how many legs do you have at events, and how many people do you have in events? The last thing I want to share with you is this here, is the tools, okay? What are the tools in your business right now? The tools that you have in your business right now are boomerangs, okay? And the systems that we're putting in place. We're going to be rolling out some tools in Vegas that's going to put you on par with how I've built my business from day one. We're going to give you now the science to building network marketing. Remember, this is pre-launch. We want you to go out there and you're going to mess it up, make some mistakes, mess it up. That's normal. That's what we want you to do. Do some things, just do something. One of the things that we can't correct is stagnation. If you're static, if you're a bicycle, you ever notice the bicycle is hardest to balance when it's still? You ever notice trying to drive a car that the engine hadn't been cranked and try to turn the wheel? It's almost impossible. But what you do is you go out there, you give it some engine, and we're gonna redirect many of your paths that's out there. We're going to direct them and redirect many of those paths. And so, but those are the 3 vital signs. We're going to do a training on that in Vegas. And I'm so proud of our trainers that we had in Atlanta, proud of the trainers that we'll have over in San Jose as well. And so I tell both groups, guys, be prepared to listen to translation on both ends, okay? Spanish, and some of you who are in English are going to be prepared to listen to translation. Some of you are Spanish, be prepared to listen to translation in San Jose as well. So, but with that, ladies and gentlemen, what I can tell you is this, okay? 90 plus days in business, 96,000 users. We've broken records. I've talked to some of the industry elites and company owners, and they're asking me, how are you doing this? Even from the number of distributors, how are the people earning this much money this soon? And I just tell them, we're just different, okay? We're just different. And one of my buddies who owns a company, I said, listen, we enrollments are open for CEOs as well. So you can go ahead and go to the website, choose a sponsor, and enroll your company. And it was a great joke, but I was coaching them on why we're different. Okay. And hopefully they adopt those philosophies. But again, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you. Somebody said we reached 51%. And I don't know if we did 51. Did we reach 51% on Facebook, Tigre?
We blew it away.
You said we
blew it away.
Okay. All right.
We blew it away. The Facebook stepped up. They came up.
Facebook came up 51%. You guys are the best TSA, the best distributors in network marketing, period. I wouldn't trade one of you, promise you, and I mean this. I wouldn't trade one of you for some of the biggest names in the industry of network marketing. Why? Because the biggest names in the industry of network marketing were just like you. And so what ibüümerang is doing is we're building right now the biggest giants that will ever be talked about. It will come from this culture, this company, this platform. Love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for enduring my 2-hour and 17-minute conference call today. But I wanted to go out and reach out to you. I'm headed over now to the U.S. Open. I can't have my phone when I get there, so you can't call me. I won't be available for you. But thanks to each and every one of you. Thanks for the team, Tigray and Mark, for your commitment to the families. And guys, always thank Mark. Mark is moving to Houston, to ibüümerang headquarters. He's moving his entire family to California all year, all his life, and he's moving to Houston. I'm so excited. He's moving there, and we're gonna do it really, really, really cool. It's going to be really, really great. We have a lot of people making a lot of sacrifices, and you have as well. So thank you guys. I love you. And remember, I can't wait to see each and every one of you on the beaches of the world, literally. Peace out. See you guys. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Woo! Boom!